going on, guys? Welcome back to Submission Script. Today we got Caleb Green going to answer a couple questions for us. All right, so we have 3 fights that should have happened but never did happen. What are those 3 fights, man?
We got Khabib versus Tony Ferguson, Anthony Johnson versus John Jones, and GSP versus Silva.
Okay. Now we'll start off with Khabib and Tony Ferguson. That one should have happened. They planned that one a couple of times, right?
A couple, 5 times they planned that out.
Yeah. So what happened? Why did it go down?
They both had injuries, weight cut problems, various different things.
It's like a cursed fight or something.
Oh, it was very cursed.
Right. When it should have went down, who do you think would have won those?
It depends which one of them happened. If it happened earlier in their career, I think Tony might have been able to actually TKO Khabib, but later I think Khabib probably would have won by decision.
Yeah.
The whole time.
You know, Khabib, he's like got that pretty much undefeated legacy coming up, and he would be a hard target to take down, but he hasn't really fought against any like what I would consider like serious elite level, top level strikers. Someone I think that Tony Ferguson, you said, had like a strong leg that could kind of put him in his place.
Mm-hmm.
But so you don't think that he could have pinned Ferguson down and given the submission?
No, Ferguson just wouldn't have tapped. I mean, even later in his career, he got put in those deep arm bars by Charles, that knee bar by Dariush, and he just didn't tap.
Okay, so he's tough like that. That's why they call him El Cucuy, right? He's the boogeyman. All right, then what's your second fight again?
Johnson versus Jones.
Johnson and Jones. All right, now was this one supposed to happen at some point?
I think they planned it out 2 or 3 times to happen.
Okay, it just never went down. All right, John Jones and then Anthony Johnson. When they would have fought, who would have won that competition?
Rumble did. Johnson, he did look really, really. He had some potential. I mean, he destroyed Gustafsson after Gustafsson gave Jones his hardest fight of his whole life. But there was that Achilles heel of the rear neck choke. He lost 5 out of his 6 fights to it. I think John could have caught him in that.
And compare and contrast the 2 fighter styles and how they would have helped him out or hurt him in that fight.
John Jones is more well-rounded, but he came from a wrestling background, while Rumble, he was definitely more of a striker.
Okay, cool. All right, and then let's go to GSP, George St. Pierre, and then it's going to be Anderson Silva, right? Is that correct? Okay, cool. And then who do you think? Because that one wasn't planned, right?
It wasn't planned. It was just people were hoping for it.
People were hoping for it, right? So, but who do you think would have won? Let's say it had gotten written up. Who do you think would have took that one?
I mean,
and why?
Yeah, a lot of these also you have to take it to the time, because earlier, I mean, the GSP was getting TKO'd by Matt Serra, would have gotten destroyed by Silva, but the GSP that submitted Bisping would have destroyed Anderson, because Anderson was on a losing streak at the time.
Right.
So it's a lot of a matter of time.
Yeah. And so you said GSP, he basically kind of grew as a fighter over time, picked up some more skills. So at the beginning, he might not have won, but maybe towards the end, he might have been able to pull it off. Gotcha. All right. So let's retake all 3 of those again, and then let's take them if they were both fighters were in their prime condition.
Mm-hmm.
So let's start off with Khabib and Ferguson. If both of those were in their prime year, who would have won between the 2 of those?
I think Khabib, he would have ended up edging out a couple more rounds, getting that control time in, Tony on his back would have been hard. But also, I think there's the potential for Tony to maybe cut him up a little bit too much and the doctor stop it.
Okay. Yeah, I can definitely see that. And then John Jones and then Anthony Johnson, whenever each one of those was at their peak of their career, the elite level, who would have won between those?
I think John Jones gets that rear neck choke. I mean, he was able to compete wrestling wise with DC, and I know DC caught Rumble in that twice. So I think you got to give it to John.
Okay. And then finally GSP and then Anderson Silva, when they're in their prime, who wins that fight?
I think Silva would win because I don't see GSP being able to finish him. But Silva, he has finishing ability, standing and even grappling with him.
Right. So GSP, you'd say even in his prime would be able to stand up and push through 3 to 5 rounds.
Oh yeah. He could go the whole 5 rounds with them standing up or grappling, but there's just more opportunities that he might land that one shot or get that one submission on him and put him away.
Right. I got you. All right. Well, I think that covers it for this one. Don't forget to check out our podcast, Submission Script MMA Podcast. It's going to be on Spotify and Amazon Music. Until then, Don't forget to train hard, fight hard, and never tap.